What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and President Joe Biden has just confessed. He has admitted that things with our economy are beyond his control right now, and what we're hearing is going to be on the horizon. What's to come? It's not looking good. Now, those of you that are a part of my viewing community, the Ram fam, you know I am here for you. I'm going to make sure that I let you know about everything unfolding so you know what's happening and what is available to you at various levels, states, counties, cities. We're working on a comprehensive list to make sure you know all about all stimulus provisions. Now, we're also going to be seeing how Congress responds to all of this. Are they finally, after a year, going to be providing that fourth federal level check of $2,000 like we had heard them promise during campaigns? What about wiping out student loan debt of $10,000 per borrower? We had heard that was going to be the first of many executive orders and executive actions to come. Why not take executive orders to provide additional provisions? What about those child tax credits that expired that lifted children out of poverty? What about those on SSI and SSDI that we had heard were going to get a bump up of $200 per month? We're going to be seeing how Congress responds to all of this, and also, we had heard that if legislation didn't pass, that Biden could do executive orders and executive actions. Now, Congress does hold the power of the purse. However, we've heard there's leftover funds just sitting there that could be reallocated by the president and given out to help out people. What are they waiting for? Are they holding out till the very last minute, right before elections? What is the holdup? But take a look at the headlines, you guys, and let me know your thoughts. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, Biden says that there's nothing that he can do to bring down the gas and food prices in the near term. Now, we might be able not to bring the prices down, but is there provisions that we could hand out to help people out? Let me know your thoughts. Biden admits gas and food prices aren't going to be coming down anytime soon. And let's take a look at the video footage so you can see it for yourself, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
There's a lot going on right now, but the idea we're going to be able to, click a switch, bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term, nor is it with regard to food. There's a lot going on right now, but the idea we're going to be able to, click a switch, bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term, nor is it with regard to food.
And link in the description below to this article that just came out that says President Biden acknowledged yesterday, that Americans would be feeling the pain from skyrocketing food and gas prices for some time to come Wednesday as consumer costs at the pump hit another new high. As Biden spoke, the average nationwide price of a gallon of gas stood at $4.67, the highest on record according to AAA and almost double where it was nearly a year ago. The throw your hands up moment for Biden came one day after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen acknowledged that she too was wrong about inflation being a transitory or temporary problem, despite the annual rate hitting highs not seen in 41 years. And that is right. It sounds like the entire White House administration right now is confessing things are out of control and they were wrong. Take a look, you guys. Yellen admits that she was wrong about inflation in 2021. And Yellen says, I was wrong last year on the path of the U.S. inflation. Yellen also says U.S. won't see same pace of big job gains. Treasury Chief says she didn't fully understand the circumstances. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think it's good when someone is able to confess that they're wrong. However, let's also be solution-oriented. If we have a problem, let's figure out how are we going to help out. Our economy is out of control. Food, gas prices, and inflation are up. What are some of the things that we can do to help out people at this time? We don't just simply want to hear a confession. I might be wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But you guys, we're going to be hearing the latest on this. I've got video footage so you can get the updates as they're going to be talking about food prices, gas prices. It's White House Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, the president. We're going to be seeing how they respond to everything going on with our economy. And as they do, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel. Now, before we dive into the video footage, don't forget, take a quick second, forgot to mention it, smash the like button, helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you want to stay up to date, I'll let you know about everything going on. Don't forget, just takes a second, totally free. Why not? Hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And with that being said, you guys, let's take a look at this video footage.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration is under growing pressure because of all this to respond to higher energy and gas prices and food prices. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen even now admitting that she was wrong last year, underestimating the path of inflation and what would happen. ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers joining us now to talk about this. So last summer, Karen, we heard the president and his economic team say that these rising prices were only temporary, that they were caused by COVID-related supply chain issues and they would ease up. How did they get it so wrong?
Yeah, I mean, Kira, they'll say those reasons are still there, that we're still seeing inflation, we're still seeing high prices because of COVID-related issues, that the supply chain disruptions are still happening, and there's still that bounce back from the shutdowns of COVID. But, Kira, we're not hearing words like transitory. We're not hearing timelines like we were last year when administration officials and the president were talking about how things would ease over a couple of months. Here we are now, a year later, as you point out, and it hasn't eased. In fact, it's getting worse, and there's really no end in sight. So you're not hearing the administration put a timeline on this. Big concerns about how long this is going to go, and certainly an eye on the fall midterm elections, which means this is going to be a political headache for the White House as they hit the campaign season in just a couple of months.
So Biden met with the Fed chair yesterday, but he says he's taking a hands-off approach to the Fed's decisions. So what did they discuss, and what can Biden really do here?
Yeah, they don't have a lot of options here, Kira, and that's why the president yesterday was saying that his main tool for fighting inflation is to give the Federal Reserve autonomy, to give them independence, and to say, you're going to take the tools and try to do this. And the president was trying to draw a distinction between his predecessor, former President Trump. He mentioned this in the meeting yesterday, that he was going to take a hands-off approach, no political pressure. He did this in a Wall Street Journal editorial where he wrote that the Federal Reserve has a primary responsibility to control inflation. He says, my predecessor demeaned the Fed, and past presidents have sought to influence its decisions inappropriately during periods of elevated inflation. I won't do this. Now, the president says that he and Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell have a laser focus. They share a laser focus on addressing inflation. But as you say, Kira, there's only so much the White House can do. And some of that is still very broad. It's very big picture, and that's addressing supply chain disruptions. It's talking about infrastructure. Those are things that might help in the long term, but that's really cold comfort to people who are looking at receipts, who are looking at the gas pump and seeing how much they're paying for everyday things.
So, Karen, you have been talking to radio stations all across the country. High interest in the president's meeting with the head of the Fed. What are listeners asking, and what have you been telling them?
Yeah, Kira, it was really striking to hear how much interest there was in this meeting yesterday, given that we only saw the president with the Federal Reserve Chairman for about 90 seconds yesterday. That photo opportunity came before their meeting. They didn't unveil some grand plan to fix this overnight. There's no switch they can hit to turn this all around. But I think it shows that this is something that is very much on the minds of Americans. And polls back that up, of course. The economy and inflation are very big issues for Americans right now. And the questions that I keep getting are, what can the White House do about this? When is this going to be resolved? And are there tools that they have at their disposal beyond saying supply chain issues? Oh, this is still COVID. And the big one that we keep hearing still from the White House is a lot of this has to do with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's one they say a lot. And there are a lot of questions here at the White House briefing about that. The president gets questions about that. I got to say, Kira, it doesn't sound like that's something that is convincing Americans right now about why prices are so high.
Wow, there you have it. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Are you convinced or not? Do you feel like there's more that they could do? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. But I will keep you up to date as we're hearing that there's this confession, there's this admittance that things are out of control. And we're going to see who steps up and how they respond. And I'll be sure to share with you here on the channel. But with that being said, you guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam. Hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, just takes a second. Any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And again, working on a major project. We've already put in tons of time into this, and I'm actually hiring some other people to help me out as well because I'm realizing this is a massive undertaking. We're going to make sure that you know about every single stimulus check provision that's available on every single level, states, counties, cities, a comprehensive list that's continually going to be updated to make sure that you know about everything and you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.